Belonging in Utah is back, and today I'm sharing a news story about a woman whose picture you may have seen floating around during Black History Month or Juneteenth celebrations in our state. A woman born in Tennessee ends up migrating with her family to Utah during the late 1800s. And her story shows how an everyday person can be an inspiration for anyone dealing with obstacles. This elegantly dressed young lady wearing a white silk gown and a crown of pearls holds a special place in Utah's Black history.
Elnora is one of my favorite people, and it's because she's just like everybody else.
This is Elnora Dudley, who in 1898, at 15 years of age, was crowned Queen of Salt Lake City's Emancipation Day celebration.
It seems like the Black population celebrated Emancipation Day, which was September 22nd, for quite a while.
Rachel Quist is a Salt Lake City resident and independent historian who studied Elnora's life.
She moved to Salt Lake with her parents when she was 8 years old, and she lived in the old Franklin Avenue with a lot of the other Black population.
Old Franklin Avenue that Quist is referring to was renamed. It's now Edison Street, which is just east of 200 South and State Street. 2 years ago, Quist took me on a walking tour and shared with me that this area is a historically Black neighborhood from the early 1800s. In an essay for the website utahwomenshistory.org, Quist wrote that Elnora, as queen for that year's celebration, rode in a carriage, read the Emancipation Proclamation, and then expressed thanks to President Abraham Lincoln. 36 years earlier, he issued the proclamation to free Black slaves. It's said to be one of Lincoln's greatest and lasting accomplishments as president.
September 22nd was the first Emancipation Proclamation, the first of three. So Abraham Lincoln said, I'm going to be doing this. Then he said, I am doing this. And then he said, I have done this.
While this is the only photograph that we know of so far of Elnora Dudley as Emancipation Day Queen, Quist says more background information came to light.
She worked alongside her mother as a maid in hotels. She and her mother also rent out extra rooms in their house.
I met Quist at Richmond Park near 400 East and 600 South. It's in the heart of the Salt Lake community called Central City, where Elnora lived. We came here to revisit this mural called Lifting as We Climb. It features 4 leading Black women, including Elnora, who had her own challenges to climb over.
She was able to purchase a home during the Great Depression as a single Black woman in a red line neighborhood where she could not get a federally backed mortgage.
How did she manage that feat? You could say the old school way.
She saved for 22 years, and she rented from the same landowner who was of Scandinavian descent. Now, he sold the home to her at the end of his life. She purchased the home for $2,800, which equates to about $65,000 today.
Buying a home was a big deal back then, especially for African Americans. Elnora passed away at the age of 73, and this was back in 1956. She never married. Quist says that in her final years, she worked for the Salt Lake Country Club as a decorator and continued to rent extra rooms in her house.